Hi, my name is Samantha McGowan, and this is my cultural competence reflection video. When applied to education, cultural competence centers on the skills and knowledge to effectively serve students from diverse cultures. In the book Cultural Competence, a primer for educators, the author Diller and Mule offer the definition. Cultural competence is the ability to successfully teach students who come from cultures other than our own. It entails developing certain personal and interpersonal awareness and sensitivities, developing certain bodies of cultural knowledge, and mastering a set of skills that, taken together, underline effective cross-cultural teaching. On the cultural competency continuum chart, I would say that I reached the cultural competence. This is because I have worked in the school setting for over 6 years now and working with students with disabilities for all of that time. Having to fight for the students to be included in things that other people felt they should or could not be involved with has taught me how to be all-inclusive, ask questions, get to know families and their goals for their child, research things if I didn't know or understand them, and adapted my delivery to meet students' individual needs. What it will take for me to deepen my knowledge on the subject and create a supportive and inclusive classroom will be to get to know my students. I can do this by doing daily interactions with them, conferences with parents before school starts and throughout the year, to know the students and their families and get to understand where they come from and their goals, and any events that the school or myself may hold for my class, including parents and being thoughtful on whether there's transportation needs or if there was maybe funds that needed to be paid for, keeping in mind that not everybody can do that, and being all-inclusive in that way. Let my students know me. Let them ask me questions on the first day, get to know get to tell them fun stories about myself and facts that they might find interesting, and then asking my students for constant feedback on a lesson if they thought that it was fun, if they wanted to learn it in a different way, and then ask more seasoned teachers or administrations for advice and tips and tricks, knowing that just because I'm a teacher doesn't mean that I know everything, and being able to ask or seek help from others who may have more experience than I do, and knowing that I have a personal bias, recognizing it in myself and learning to let it go or learn more about it or why I have that personal bias. Some specific readings and tools and resources that I think would be very beneficial for me or others as educators would be if your workplace or school district were offering up classes and lectures on cultural competence. I think that would be a great way for everyone in that school to be on the same page if they could all attend that. Some resources that I have found other than that would be the Center for Justice website, the Center for Social Justice website, and that can be found at neaccs.org/case-study/competence-training-for-educators. Also, a book from Hanover Research called Strategies for Building Cultural Competency, and the National Center for Cultural Competence. What will it look like to have cultural inclusivity in my future classroom? Will be getting to know my students, like I said before, spending time to get to know them and their families, their likes, dislikes, so I can help make my classroom feel more at home and personal to them, including various perspectives in our lessons or content that was created by people with varying backgrounds, not just focusing on one side of view, but many side of views. And being flexible with my teaching, including lots of different learning techniques and study styles to create a space for students to showcase their many different talents and learn it in a way that works best for them. Understanding that every student doesn't learn the same way, and being able to be flexible with that. Some students may need a little more body movement, some students may need a little more quiet, being able to adjust and maneuver my lessons around each individual student's needs. And the way that I will ensure I am respecting students as individuals with differing personal backgrounds and various skills, abilities, perspective, talents, and interests that may not always align to my spiritual beliefs and moral beliefs. I think that honestly, going into this line of work, I am fully aware that I will not agree or align with everybody that I cross paths with, but I think this is where being a Christian will really help me. I will show kindness and grace to those who I do not align with. I can still love the person and not agree with what they stand for. God has shown me this again and again, and I would not be a true woman of faith if I did not do the same. And finding something in common with that person. There's always something that is similar with one another, and building our relationship on that, whether that's just something as simple as we both like the same drink. It can just be as simple as that, and just focusing on the positive and again giving grace where it's needed. So this is all I have on my cultural competency video. Thank you for your time.